So the first question for you is that should romantic relationship in high school be allowed?
Well, I think it depends. Romantic relationship is some kind of an inevitable thing in high school, and if the students can guarantee that their academic outcomes won't be affected, I think it's perfectly fine for them to have a romantic relationship between a boy and a girl.
Okay, so the next question is that do you think age matter in a romantic relationship?
Okay. I think it doesn't. Since you guys are all very young, I think you should discover all the things about love you can when you are still at high school. I mean, if you are at grade 10, you're a boy, grade 10, it's fine when you fall in love with somebody, a girl at grade 12. But from my own experience, it's the best for you to have a kind of similar age love, or most ideally, I would recommend that you have an affair with a girl who is younger than you.
Okay, so the final question is that what do you think how parents can help their children when they are in a romantic relationship?
Well, I think the most crucial thing they can do is that they can work strictly with the teachers. You know, teachers and parents are the two most influential factors to students, right? So the parents, they control their children at home, and the teachers control the students at their schools. So if they work together, they can facilitate effectively this relationship, and they can identify the negative potentials in this relationship and try to minimize all that, and why they promote the positivity of this kind of relationship.
Okay, thank you. The question for you is should romantic relationship in high school should be allowed?
Well, I think yes. Yeah, it's quite a good thing for students, like for partners in a romantic relationship. Yeah.
The second question is that do you think that age matter in a romantic relationship?
Well, I think yes. At least high school, the student must reach high school to have a romantic relationship.
I mean here in the question we want to know that like does age really matter, like people from different kind of age, like the girl gonna be older than the boy, like about 10 years old. What do you think about that?
Well, I think yeah, it's not really matters when it comes to age, because the age difference is not the first, the highest priority in a relationship. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think that about parents can help their children when they are in a romantic relationship?
Well, I think yes, when it comes to about let's say about some kinds of sex or like that, the parents will be the guidance. They will give the guidance for partners of a relationship,
okay,
for them to have a good way of romantic relationship. Okay,
thank you.
So, should romantic relationship in high school be allowed?
It's a hard question, but in my viewpoint, I think it doesn't matter. So, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, on to the next question. So, do you think age matter in a romantic relationship?
The only thing that is matter is do they really love each other?
Sure.
Yeah. So, still, I think romantic relationship, well, is no.
I get you. So, the final question. How do you think parents can help their children when they are in a romantic relationship?
Parents, I don't think parents can help anything in kid relationship. They can do it on their own, so they can help their own experience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So parents should not interrupt with in their relationship.
Yeah, everyone has his own opinions. Thank you for your cooperation. High school allowed.
So I believe that romantic relationship should be allowed in high school as long as they are healthy relationship. And by saying healthy relationship, I mean it that two people they are emotionally connected and it can benefit them in some way. But that is only the bright side. You can easily see that there are some students when they fall in love, they are no longer concentrate on their study, right? But I still think that learning to be in a relationship is something that belongs in human growth, which is necessary.
Second question. Do you think age matter in a relationship?
Definitely not. I can agree that sometimes age matter can lead to some issue, and this can end up by breaking up. But in the end, love is about emotional and age, and it doesn't care about your partner age. And the only problem that I can think about is when two people they are not love each other enough or they aren't good enough. And think that love is something to have to do with your emotion and age is just a number.
So for the last question, how do you think parents can support their children if they are in a romantic relationship?
Well, yeah, there's many things that parents can do for their children. Since the parents they already have experience in this kind of relationship, so they can give them a lot of useful advice or encourage them. And sometimes when they're really sad, they can lend them a sympathetic ears or a shoulder to cry on. And above the things that I have listed, there are much more things that parents can do for their children.
Thank you for your cooperation.
So the first question for you is that should romantic relationship in high school should be allowed?
A romantic relationship in high school. I think no matter whether you allow it or not, I think it will happen. I think even if parents refuse their children to have a relationship, I think the children will keep it a secret from their parents. If I had a child in high school, I would probably allow it because I want to know what's going on with my child. If I tell my son or my daughter, no, you can't have any relationship, you need to study, maybe they will still have a relationship, but they won't tell me. And so I won't know what's going on with my child because they won't tell me because they'll be afraid of my reaction.
Okay. So the second question is that do you think age matter in a romantic relationship?
Does age matter in a romantic relationship? I think it depends on the person. Because I've met people who are 40 years old and very immature, and I've met people who are 18 that are very mature. So I think it depends, a lot of it depends actually on the two people.
Okay, and the final question, what do you think about parents can help their children when they are in a relationship, romantic relationship?
How can parents help? I don't know. I think parents should speak to their kids and know what's going on with their kids. I think they shouldn't be, the problem with parents is that they're too strict, then the kids are going to hide everything from them, and that's when children are hiding things from their parents, that's when they get in trouble. That's when bad things happen. So if you have I think if parents have good communication with their children, I think that it's a much better situation. I think that's probably the most important thing.